The ideas that gave birth to our nation are the ideas that our nation is resistant to right now, and we should talk about that all the time.
In a world where narratives are shaped by corporations and gatekeepers, independent voices matter more than ever. Badlands Media brings together citizen journalists, researchers, and independent thinkers.
The truth is triggering.
Question the narrative. Explore the facts.
It's authenticity, courage, resilience.
Search for the truth others won't.
It's not about being first or being right.
The information war is changing.
It's about being authentic.
Embrace the friction.
Embrace the friction.
Shut the f*** up.
Authentically antagonizing. Join the movement.
I'm going to say how I feel.
Follow Badlands Media.
This is about the future.
The Badlands. What are the Badlands? Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
Okay.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Herald here on Badlands Media. I'm your host, Jon Herold, and it is Wednesday, hump day. Hope you're all humping somebody today. We'll have a couple things from Trump on NATO. Oh, I got to show you guys this. RT Joan, by the way, incredible work. We had sent in a picture of our cat Lemmy, and she painted it and nailed it. Such a funny picture too. I wish I had the actual picture still pulled up in my stream because I'd show you guys the real picture. But so good. That's in the background today. Maybe keep it there for a couple days. And when the kids get back, we'll find a place in the house to put it. But yeah, how's your guys' Wednesday going? Everybody's joking about Mitch McConnell being dead, which is really funny. I still can't believe Scott Jennings yesterday. But yeah, a lot of the talk is Trump, NATO. We're bombing Iran again, even though peace was secured. The flip-flop is just, it's getting old. It's getting hard to even pay attention to. Had we bombed them like this, 2 months ago, the news cycle would have been crazy about it. But I feel like everybody's just like, okay, well, whatever. Again, we're just going to keep replaying the whole thing. Seth Rich is back in the news. We'll probably talk about that a little bit. We'll see what happens. What's up with Air Force One? Yeah, so I did see a lot of talk about this going around, that whole... No, let me play the clip. Got it somewhere. Hold for processing. I have so many clips open right now. Just gotta find the right one. Well, let me just do a new search. Never mind. Hold for processing. I'll play the clip and then I'll show you guys the explanation that I heard. This. Okay.
Stephen Nelson from the New York Post. I'd like you to address speculation that you're leaving Ankara not in the new Air Force One because of security concerns involving Iran. You've spoken today twice about them possibly assassinating you and possibly being successful. Did that concern have something to do with
Well, I speak about it a lot because, the life of a president is very dangerous. It's 5.2%. You know what a race car driver is? 1/10 of 1%. A bull rider, that looks pretty dangerous to me. It's 1/10 of 1%. No, it's 5.2% is you don't make it. You should have told me. You're an excellent reporter. You should have told me that years ago. Maybe I wouldn't have run. It's a very dangerous profession. No, I'm number one on the kill list for Iran. They're lovely people. I'm number one. So I don't know. I can't tell you that, but I don't really care because I'm doing my job and I'm doing it, I hope, better than anybody's ever done it, because we have a country that's hot and really, really successful. But I mention it only because it's on the list. I mean, it came out. There was another list came out yesterday, and I'm number one on. I like being number one on TikTok better, but I'm number one on the list for killing. Go ahead.
Hey, Sean McCreesh, New York Times. But why aren't you flying the new plane home?
Say what?
Why aren't you flying on the new Air Force One home?
It's flying to Europe, to one of the big bases, 2 or 3 of the big bases where we can show it to the people. And we'll be going home by normal methods. But we have it going to Europe to a couple of bases, actually one in particular, but it's going to go to a couple of bases, stop, so the soldiers can see it because it's truly magnificent. Yeah, please. Go ahead. You want to go? Okay, go ahead.
Mr. President.
So multiple questions about it. And Trump did post on Truth Social about this morning. To honor our brave men and women of the military, we are sending the brand new and truly spectacular Air Force One to Mildenhall Air Force Base in the United Kingdom to give them a chance to tour the aircraft. Everybody's so excited, and we thought that they should be the first. For old time's sake, we'll be taking the former Air Force One from Turkey to Mildenhall, a short trip that is totally worth doing in order to give our great military heroes a chance to appreciate our beautiful new addition to the Air Force fleet, President Donald J. Trump. So I think this was him kind of putting out a narrative or setting the narrative fairly early. I think the reality of the situation is, yeah, there's a lot of people in the world that would take out Trump if they could. Trump is traveling overseas, and he just started bombing Iran again last night. And maybe Iran is even the ones who would try to take out Air Force One. Who knows? But what I'm seeing online is this. And I think this is a fairly good explanation. Maybe it's truth, maybe not. But from Konstantin Toropin, he's a Pentagon reporter for the Associated Press. He says images of the jet captured since its unveiling show it is not equipped with some of the same missile detection and countermeasure systems as the older jets. One expert that the AP spoke with noted that overall, the new jet was better suited to only work as a domestic aircraft. So yeah, I mean, they probably have some sort of intelligence that people are going to try to pull some stuff, and they just wanted to be as cautious as possible. So, I mean, I don't know. Trump always has threats against his life. Like, that's not new. They've tried to kill him like 3 times, if not more. So this isn't really shocking to me in the slightest. The fact that they're trying to make it a big deal, though, that is almost more interesting. But yeah, there's your answer, at least as far as we have it now. Lee Walden left a $2 rant, says, "Hi, John. I have a 3-part question or more, and you're my first go to help, as most of the like-minded patriots are all trying to share our discernment regarding Trump and his achievements." That wasn't a question, Lee. I mean, you must have more rants coming through. Kelly, good to see you, Kelly. Going to the old folks' home for bingo here shortly. Man, I haven't played bingo in so long. I would love to play bingo. How old do you have to be to go play bingo at the old folks' home? Did you hear Trump say he was president 3 times? I didn't actually listen to the press conference, but I bet I could find it. It's like his most common thing he says now. Trump, president 3 times. Here we go.
An oil glut right now because we got all those boats out of the strait, and it's going to drop. And I've predicted everything. I've been right about everything, and I have been for a long time. That's how I got to be president 3 times. It's how I won 3 elections. I did very well in the second one, won it. It was a rigged election, but I've been right and been oiled.
Man, I love when he does that. Anyway, let's get a quick word from our sponsors, and we're going to start plugging away on stuff. I got a lot of clips and just a bunch of random stories, so we'll see where things go. But first up, we got Benson Honey Farms, our good friends over at Benson Honey Farms. It was great seeing them in Deadwood. Welcome to Benson Honey Farms, where every jar is pure gold. Benson's Honey is excited to be back on Badlands Media with their honey harvest straight from their Nebraska farm. While they've been busy working to improve our state politics from the ground up, They never forgot the importance of sharing the best honey around. Did you know honey isn't just a sweet treat? It's nature's medicine, perfect for alleviating allergies, soothing upset stomachs, or as a delicious natural sweetener for baking. Benson honey is never heated, ensuring you receive it in its pure raw form, full of natural goodness. At Benson Honey Farms, quality and purity is top priority, and they're committed to providing the finest honey from hive to home. Visit badlandsmedia.tv/honey and use promo code Badlands for 20% off your purchase. That's Benson Honey Farms. Savor the authentic taste of Nebraska and support this America First business. Follow on Facebook at Benson Honey Farms and TikTok at Mo Benson Honey Please. And you know what? I just realized that I think our YouTube band is up. I'm going to see if this works. I'm going to see if we can go live on our... Looks like YouTube is preventing you from live streaming at this time. Let's see. Hold for process. I'm going to see if... because we were supposed to get our thing back. Today's Wednesday, right? Yes. We were supposed to be able to start streaming again today. Active community guideline strikes. There's still 1 day left on your penalty period. We have to go. Oh, well, that's dumb. I guess tomorrow. My bad. So much for that. Anyway, we have another sponsor I want to talk about really quick, and I'm very excited about this because I am drinking it right now. The Cacao Bliss from Earth Echo. You know what? I don't know if I have the ad even in here. Hold on. I got to download the video. Man, I'm a little out of sorts this morning because I tried doing like a test locals stream to see how it would, to see how like a show prep type stream would go. And I didn't do anything through StreamYard. I just did it on locals, like their platform. And I got to tell you, there's like no bells and whistles. And the way they've designed it is that they like want you to stream through Rumble Studio. And I just can't get myself to do it. Plus, I can't stream through Rumble Studio anyway because this show is scheduled to be streamed through Rumble Studio. So it just wasn't in the cards, but it was a kind of a disaster. I'm going to have to figure out what I want to do. And I don't know if I'm going to do that the show prep stream every day. But I was just thinking, like, I'm here, I'm on my computer anyway. I could like hang out with people on locals while getting my stuff set up. And, you know, some days I might have to like go hang out with the kids or whatever. It's going to be pretty casual, but I'm going to try it again tomorrow. So make sure you're following over on locals. And I don't think you have to subscribe for money or anything over there. I think you can do it for free. But anyway, okay, Earth Echo, very excited about this. This episode is brought to you by Cacao Bliss from Earth Echo, a ceremonial grade cacao drink with 7 superfoods that lower appetite, boost focus, and calm anxiety. A new study found that one bizarre morning ritual nearly doubled GLP-1 levels in participants within hours. There were no needles or prescription pills involved, and this ritual tastes like chocolate. I can verify that. This drink is called ceremonial grade cacao, and before you picture a Hershey bar, let me be clear, this is nothing like the chocolate sitting in your pantry right now. This stuff has been heated, chemically processed, and stripped of almost everything healthy. That stuff, like the Hershey bars, not this. Raw ceremonial cacao keeps all of the good stuff, so the healthy part, the flavanols, stay completely intact. Harvard researchers spent years studying a tribe in Panama that drinks 5 cups of this stuff every day and found the rates of cardiovascular problems were 9 times lower than Americans. 9 times. Cacao Bliss from Earth Echo takes ceremonial grade cacao and combines it with 7 organic superfoods. Tastes just like hot chocolate. And get ready. Stuff will completely transform your mornings. Learn more and get your special discounts and free shipping today at trycacaobliss.com/badlands. That's trycacaobliss.com/badlands. Now, first of all, the presentation of this stuff is awesome. You get like this awesome box and it's got like everything you need in there. It would make for like a great gift. Like if you wanted to get somebody a gift, it's a perfect one. The taste wise, like if you compare it to Hershey's chocolate, it doesn't taste like Hershey's chocolate. It tastes more earthy because it's healthier, but I think it's delicious. I think it's great. And I'm excited to see my cardiovascular system improve by 9 times. Yeah, it's really cool. Like the cup itself, it's got like this interesting texture to it. It's like super smooth at the top and like, I don't know, like rough at the bottom, like sandpaper. I don't know, it's really cool. Kind of obsessed. And I have to have my girlfriend Cece make this for me every morning now. Lee Walden says, I need help framing the question to Stephen Miller. How do I contact and assure my sources? How do you contact Stephen Miller? If I knew that, I would, he'd be on the show. Like some of these people are very difficult to contact. I've made connections like throughout the years of doing this, but even still, it's very difficult to get get in contact with any of those or get a response. Like I've messaged so many people on Twitter, like trying to ask a question or get them on for an interview. And a lot of times they don't respond. If they're not following you, they won't respond. Like for me, even if people don't follow, or if I'm not following somebody and they send me a message, I don't see it unless I like go looking for it. And I'm assuming these guys, it's that way for a lot of them. But yeah, I have no idea how to get you in touch with people like that. I mean, I probably could go to somebody and figure it out, but I don't know. There's some people that I feel like could connect me to somebody like a Stephen Miller, or even maybe someday like somebody in Trump's immediate orbit for an interview. And I don't want to, I don't know. I'm just like waiting to use that card. You know, if I ever use it at all, it just feels weird. 12 anyway, just one drink and you look like 9 times the John you once was. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. The link promoted on the Badlands show is the cheapest. At least it was when I ordered it a couple days ago. Frederick Leathers, you ordered the cacao. I just love saying the word cacao. Everybody at home right now, I'll give you a couple seconds to do it. Just say it out loud, the word cacao. It's really fun. It's really fun to say. Cataran, I thought you did have to pay to be on locals. I don't remember. We started, this was like years ago. We were going to do like a dedicated effort to stream to locals, and with the Rumble Studio stuff, it was just difficult to do. It was difficult to get like the content creators to all be able to participate. It's still a great way to support Badlands Media if you are subscribed, but I'm pretty sure you're not required to. I'll look into it, but whatever. Let's plug away here. I'm not doing the Doge website anymore, just FYI, because that is done. Gold is at 4,066, down a little bit. Silver also down 58.45. Bitcoin also down a little bit, down to 62. I would attribute this. Man, I wasn't even sharing my screen for any of that. I would attribute this to the ongoing bombing again. It's also the first time since I started like talking about the national gas average price, like routinely on the show, that the gas price actually went up a little bit. It has trended downward like a cent or two every single day. And this is the first time where yesterday was at $3.79. And today it's at $3.79.6. So went up 0.006 cents on the national average. Again, probably because of the bombing. And Trump is kind of going ham. I can show you. I think he posted some videos of him bombing stuff. And it's so funny too, because like, I don't know what this is in response to here, but I'm assuming it's the bombing of Iran. It's like, I voted for this, boom, explosion. Do people like actually go vote for Trump, the peacemaker, who's like campaigned on not getting us into new wars, but then now they're claiming they voted for like bombing the crap out of another country? I don't know, seems fishy. But here's one of the clips he shared.
Whoa.
Look at the bombing. Lots of bombs. I think I saw some other clips on Twitter. Yeah, Trump has had a couple comments on this. Let me find. I have so many tabs open right now. Here we go. He's talking about the Iran conflict right here. We can play this a little bit. I'm going to speed it up a hair, though. I don't want to run out of time today.
Iran war has been a tremendous military success. And, you know, I can only answer the question by saying they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. I think I was there for one reason, that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I call it, we denuclearize Iran, and that's happened. They will never have a nuclear weapon. That stuff is so far down under a mountain. It's a granite mountain that collapsed on top of it. Take months to get it out. I think it's a tremendous success, Iran. And you see the oil prices are lower than they were when I started. And people like to say that, but look, they have no military left. Their Air Force is gone. As I said, their ships are gone. 159 ships are gone. They're at the bottom of the sea. Their radar is gone. Everything's gone. So when you say not a success, it's a tremendous success. The fake news likes to say how well they're doing. They're doing terribly. They have 350% inflation. When the war started, they had like 6%, 5%. They have, they want to make a deal, but they don't know how to make a deal. And then they go around shooting ships at night. I don't like that. You know, they're dealing with very fine people. They're dealing with Steve Witkoff. They're dealing with Jared Kushner and J.D. Vance. And they're dealing with Marco and Scott. They're dealing with great people. But I don't know. I think they're a little loco. They're a little crazy. But they told us they'd like to go to the funeral of a very person who killed a lot of people. Khomeini killed a lot of people.
Real quick, before I finish the video, good comment in the chat here from Eric Q. Freeman. I voted for Trump to destroy the New World Order. I never assumed that would be peaceful. For sure. I'm not necessarily talking about you people in this chat. I'm just talking about people online who are like surface level. I voted for bombing the crap out of another country because they certainly did not vote for something that Trump did not campaign on. You know what I mean? Just that's like more so what I'm talking about. And I bet if you went and searched that guy's social media, the person never talked about Trump taking out the New World Order or any of that stuff. That's not the context he's talking about it in. CatRN, bombing Iran last night went up 10 cents per gallon in St. Pete, which is always lower than Tampa and surrounding areas. Price fixing. They immediately raise after bombing, but barely go down with peace. That is true. That is a very true.
Over the years, and there for a long time. Don't forget what we did should have been done 47 years ago. It could have been done any time within 40. This has gone on for, they were the bully of the Middle East. So they're a much different country. Now, in one day, all of their anti-aircraft things are gone. That doesn't mean they're not going to get a plane at some point, but all of it's gone. Everything's gone. Their leaders are gone. They had leaders, they're gone. Then they had another set of leaders, they're gone. Now they have another set of leaders, they may be gone. Who knows? And you know what? I may be gone too, because I'm their number one target. It's out all over the place. I'm their number one because they're scum. That's the way they act. And that's the way they've done it for 47 years. But I'm doing what's right for the country. I'm doing really what's right for the world. They have to be stopped. And they've killed thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. They killed 52,000 protesters over the last 3 months. So when you say we're not doing well, I think we're doing phenomenally well. Our military has been incredible. Plus, we had a blockade. Did we have a blockade? Did you ever see a blockade work that way? You know, for you that said we're not doing well there, we did great in Venezuela. That was a one-day war. And they're very good military. You know, it's a very military country. We took out one of the worst human beings in the world.
So we shall see. I'm sure me and Bernie Bro will talk about this tonight on the Power Hour. It just, I don't know, back in the cycle of things. Trump also talked about the greatest threat to us right now is communism. And he again mentioned World War I, September 11th, Pearl Harbor. It's the same thing he mentioned back during COVID when he said he was a wartime president and talked about, you know, it's worse than 9/11, worse than Pearl Harbor. There's never been an attack like this. It just, and I think we talked about this on Saturday's Power Hour. It gives me this reminds me of that clip.
When I watch what's happening and I see these lowlifes I mean, they're lowlifes. I watch them. I know good people. I know quality people. These are essentially lowlifes. And when I see what they're talking, I think they're very dangerous in many ways. And I've said it. And then I said, boy, that's a pretty big statement. Then I realized, you know, a couple of people said, I think you're probably right. I think this country with this thing that's going around is in more danger than it was during World War I, World War II. If you talk about September 11th, if you talk about Pearl Harbor, that was big danger. I think the concept of us going communist, because one thing that happens when you go communist, you never come back, never comes back. You die in squalor. You die a horrible death. You die in squalor, and it gets very evil and very nasty. Yeah, please go.
Once you go communism, you never go back. That's a very common phrase. But yeah, do you get what I'm saying? Like back when Trump said worse than Pearl Harbor, worse than 9/11, there's never been an attack like this. And we've always looked at that quote and kind of implied like, hey, it sounds a little devolution-y. Like, what's he talking about here? And I don't know. He's bringing that up again. He's really making this interesting push about communism a lot. And again, we did talk about this on Saturday, but I wonder where he's going with this. Something must have happened, and I don't think it's just the communists running for election. Mondami was elected. What was that last year? Was that 2023 or not 2023? 2025. I don't remember which election that was, but regardless, like we had a communist win the mayoral election in the arguably like the most popular city and state in the world, in New York. He didn't start talking about communism like this then, so something else must happen. But I'm going to keep monitoring and see how it plays out. See what his rhetoric transforms into. Another clip I wanted to play. I guess I don't really care about the TikTok one. Did that one already. Maybe I'm out of clips. Thought I had more. Already did that one. Let me just look at let me look at one more thing here. If there's nothing else, then I'll just move on to some of the other news stories because there are some interesting ones. Salbish gifted a subscription. Thank you. Lee Walden, Executive Order 13848 has come to light. Word on the street is it will be in motion by August. Yeah, Lee, I feel like I get this question all the time. It will be re-upped in September, around September 7th or September 11th. I don't remember. I think it's September 7th. I think that's the date on it. So you can look for that to happen. That happens every single year, literally. But it's always in motion. After every single election, there are a couple instances where people get, charged or they use the authorities in Executive Order 13848 to go after foreign entities who tried to interfere in the elections. It happened back in 2018. It happened in 2020. It happened in 2022. It happened in 2024. It happens every election cycle. So it's always been in motion. There's not like one big new thing that's going to happen because of Executive Order 13848. There's still a fundamental misconception about what 13848 does. And a lot of people on the interwebs, a lot of the grifters especially, like to look to that as like this big monolithic thing that's going to fix everything. It's not that. I think the more important things were other executive orders like a 13961 and 13818, 13818 and 13. Gosh, what's the other one? I don't remember now. I used to have those things memorized. Lee Walden again for $2. Commie rat. This is a bad word. I'm not going to repeat it. Are dug in like ticks, and at 70, I can honestly say vouch that they are everywhere. They are everywhere, aren't they? Buck Wayne, pound your groin with a hammer before going socialist. The results are the same. Right, Coney, Trump has Mondami in the White House and said they have lots in common. There is still video. Yes, that's very true. Frederick Leathers, one of the first things communists do when they take over is round up and disappear all those who help them. If those helping them went against their country, what is stopping them from doing it? Again, can't risk it. Seeing Stewart feels the same here. U.S. military jerking us around with clown show instead of the truth. Fix Bayonet, you can vote your way into communism, but you have to fight your way out of it. I love that quote. Love that quote. I'm not going to lie. I saw a post from X22 today, and I just thought it was really funny. And I'm going to show it if I can find it. Here we go. Nope, that's not it. Here we go. From X22. The guy who's like arguably the most popular streamer in like our little truth community on Rumble, right? I mean, he's got a huge following, huge numbers on every show, always talking about the plan and the queue and stuff. Like he was the guy who a lot of my followers found me because of him. But listen to what he says here. Once we win the House and Senate, Trump will have everything he needs. Remove the Federal Reserve Act, repeal the amendments that enable it, install the income system permanently. Everything he has built over the last 2 years will be ready to go the moment the midterms are won. He'll move at lightning speed. I just think it's funny because is he essentially saying that like everything he's been talking about for the last like 6 to 8 years has been building to the 2026 midterms? And don't we already have the House and the Senate now? Based on the way he's talking about it. I wonder, somebody should do this. Go back to like 2024 after the November elections. I would bet he says this exact same thing in some shows back then. I just think it's funny. I like Dave though. You should have me back on sometime. Buck Wayne, Minnesota needs a new state flag. A Somalian goat sodomizing a Democrat donkey would be fitting. AOB 22. I like that you have what I would say is a loose outline for the show and let it take the direction it does every day. Appreciate it. Yeah, I have basic things I'm willing to talk about if I need to, but I mainly want to just engage with you guys and then just see where the show goes. There's no agenda behind it. Bama Cat 13818 was taking the goods in DRC away from Dan Gertier. Interesting. 197318987 says that's what I told my niece was my explanation. May 60 or the bunny. I've been a bit burned off from Dave for a while now. What's the income system? Who knows? Project Leathers, we have the House and the Senate now, but when we really get the House and the Senate, that's what I'm talking about. We kind of have it now, but that's in name only. Once we really get it, then we'll, just got to win those pesky midterms. But if we don't win the pesky midterms, then what? Maggie Bundy, rocking a baby and hoping you bore her to sleep. I can probably promise that'll happen. It's becoming sporadic information between ads and alternative stream promotions, same as the rest. Sissa 23, if we are in Devo, does Congress even have any power to pass or do anything? That's a good question. I don't think they have for a long time. I think they've been illegitimate for a long time. May 60, I still think David's AI, his hair is perfect every time. I met him once at the pit a long time ago. He was real, if that was really him. Okay, a couple stories here. Oh, yeah, I was going to share this article. Trump's NATO trouble tour. This is from Axios, and it came out like right after he ended his speech in NATO. So I haven't even read this yet. I just saw it, and I was like, well, let's talk about this. It happened right when we were going live. President Trump hijacked NATO's annual summit within hours of touching down in Turkey, threatening allies and declaring the Iran ceasefire over as Washington and Tehran lurched toward renewed war. The big picture, the carefully choreographed Ankara summit, unraveled into the Trump show. And let's be real here, guys. Everywhere Trump goes, every time he's in front of the media, it unravels, if that's the word you want to use, into the Trump show. I mean, the same thing happens with me. I have that same effect on people in the media. So I get it. Maybe the mainstream media doesn't. With the agenda quickly overtaken by the president's grudge against allies who sat out the Iran war. On his quick trip to Turkey, Trump opened new wounds and rubbed salt in others by. He threatened to cut off all trade with Spain, calling the country hopeless for refusing to let the U.S. use its military bases to strike Iran. Deeming talks with Tehran a waste of time and suggesting the U.S. could take out every single bridge in Iran. Remember back when Trump threatened like his civilization-ending post that he did that everybody freaked out about? And then the next day, all we got were videos of like citizens going and standing on bridges and standing next to power plants to protect them from being bombed. Like that would do it. So fake. Like maybe there was real people, but I'm saying they were definitely like paid to do that, because I can't think of a single person in the right mind that would, during the middle of a war, go stand on public infrastructure to protect. Like, what are you doing? Stay at your house, protect your family. But anyway, I do think it is interesting that we're in this conflict, and Trump has been very harsh with his rhetoric towards NATO, and that's been happening for a long time. But for these countries like Spain, who kind of turn their backs on Trump, like, what do you expect Trump to do in response to that? Of course, you're going to like be harsh against them. And yeah, I'd cut off all trade with Spain too. What do we get from Spain that we can't get elsewhere or make ourselves? I would ask that question for every country. What do we get from another country that we can't just do ourselves? Because anything we can do ourselves, I think we should be doing that. But yeah, so I mean, I don't see that as a big deal. I love that. Renewing his demand to acquire Greenland, which triggered a full-blown crisis in January and prompted Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen to pledge that Denmark would defend its territory. Yeah, good luck. We'll bomb every bridge in Denmark, too. Floating the removal of all of our soldiers out of Europe, alarming allies who have relied on the U.S. security umbrella for decades. Yeah, that's a good thing for us. Let's get out of there, for sure. Of course, the globalist media is going to tweak over that one. Praising China, saying he's a big fan of President Xi Jinping and cozying up to Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan over Israel's objections. I think Ghost predicted this was going to happen, the Erdogan thing. And he also made it abundantly clear, I'm not happy with NATO. Yeah, remember his national security strategy? You guys already ran this story. You already told us he was not happy with NATO. We've known this. Nothing new. Mainstream media is so dumb. The White House did not immediately respond to Axio's request for comment. I wonder how much time they had when you posted this immediately, like literally seconds after the NATO conference end. I wonder if that's how they do that. Like when they send requests for comment, like, okay, something happens, like a NATO thing, whatever. You write up your story ahead of time, and then you send a request for comment, and then publish right after. So there was no time for them to even respond. I bet that's how they do that. I've never actually had to reach out to somebody for a comment on a story. So on Sunday, he posted a meme of Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni with the caption, "Restraining order needed," after previously claiming she begged him for a photo, which she disputes. He also pre-announced British Prime Minister Keir Starmer's resignation a day before Starmer confirmed it himself. Going back to this one, she's disputing that she begged him for. I wonder if Trump like records every one of his private conversations. Like I damn near do that. Not everyone, but anytime I think there's going to be like some business thing or something, like something business related, or anytime I'm going to be talking to somebody that I don't believe I can fully trust, and I tell you what, there are not many people that I feel like I can fully trust, I will typically record for my own protection. And it has paid off for me in spades. It paid off during my divorce. It paid off during this lawsuit stuff. I was able to refute a lot of things with the truth because recorded things. And I know for some reason people like attack me over that. Like, I can't believe you recorded things, or I can't believe you're showing screenshots of text messages. Like, yeah, if you're going to sit there and lie about me, I'm going to show the truth. I would never use the recordings in a nefarious way. I would only ever use it to defend myself and the truth. So anyway, some people have weird problems with that. I would encourage you all to record your conversations with people that you're not sure you can trust, because there's a lot of bad people out there. Is ND a one-party state? It sure is. It sure is. Ash 7076, they do that all the time. They did it to me on Monday. Reality check. Let's go back to this. Oh yeah, he also pre-announced British Prime Minister Keir Starmer's resignation. Did he pre-announce it, or did he force it? I think that's the real question. Reality check. Despite mounting concern about rifts in the alliance, members reaffirmed their commitment to collective defense and pledged unwavering support, including security funding for Ukraine. I can't believe that stuff's still happening. In the summit's most concrete win, Trump told Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky the U.S. will license Ukraine to manufacture its own Patriot air defense interceptors, capability Kyiv has long sought. And NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, who has heaped frequent flattery on the president, downplayed the divide, saying NATO was made stronger by the defense spending commitments Trump demanded. Bottom line, NATO leaders are used to Trump's threats by now. What's harder to shrug off is the ongoing drawdown of U.S. troops in Europe, the biggest shift in the continent's defense posture since the Cold War. Yeah, well, suck it, NATO. We don't want you. We don't want to be there. Ash 1776, the request for comment thing. I wasn't going to respond anyway, but there wasn't time. Yeah, the one time I was asked for a comment on a story was back when, I can't remember what, was it Media? It wasn't Media Matters, or maybe it was. It was like one of those groups who does like the disinformation stuff. They requested comment about some of the shows on Badlands, and I just like replied LOL, and then they never ended up publishing the thing. They never published. They asked for a comment on it, on like some of the quotes on the show. I think there's even a quote about the. You know what? I'm going to see if I can find that. What was that freaking? What was the name of the group? Ash, do you remember? Oh yeah, here we go. It was this. Oh, what happened? Something disappeared. Reach out for me, comment, a report they will be publishing where they will label Badlands Media content as misinformation. We will not be intimidated. Oh yeah, NewsGuard. That's what it was. A bunch of false claims about the election. Claimed both the 2020 and 2022 midterms were stolen, and one episode which claimed that True the Vote was accurate and the 2020 election was stolen. I still believe the 2020 election was stolen. We've also found that on Badlands Media, you have published false claims about COVID-19, Ukraine, and the 2020 election. I want to say there was something about the Jews in here too, but I don't see it. Another article advanced the claim that the U.S. staged a coup to overthrow the Ukrainian government in 2014. Yeah, but they never ended up publishing it. Real disappointing.
Kiss my big, beautiful.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Then I made this in response.
Kiss my big, beautiful Trump 2024 presidential ass.
Anyway, sorry about the swearing there. My bad, guys. Yeah, but yeah, it was News Guards. But Media Matters has certainly written many. Maggie Bunny says, it worked. I bored her to sleep. You're welcome. Quiet Coney, allowing Ukraine to manufacture Patriots is just another massive money laundering scheme. Where do the rare earths come from? They supposedly have their own rare earths. The DOJ has warned states of criminal liability over non-citizen ballots. The Department of Justice sent letters Tuesday to at least 10 states warning that election officials could face criminal prosecution if non-citizens are allowed to remain on voter rolls, or if ballots cast by non-citizens are counted in upcoming elections. 7-page letter signed by Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon outlined federal laws prohibiting non-citizens from voting and state that election officials who knowingly retain non-citizens on voter registration lists or facilitate their voting could be held criminally liable. This is a genuine question. I'm not trying to upset anybody or ruffle feathers, but Harmeet Dillon, okay? I've never been a huge fan. I don't know anything about her. I'm not a huge fan. I don't dislike her either. But has she done anything meaningful yet? And Ash, you might be somebody in the chat that would know. This is a genuine question. What has she done that's been meaningful to help with the election integrity fight? We were told that she was helping down in California after the Spencer Pratt debacle in that situation. Have we seen anything come from any of those investigations? We know they were down there. Did they go after anybody? Did they ultimately end up arresting anybody? Maybe that's still coming. Maybe. I don't know. But that's a genuine question. I'm not trying to doom or whatever you guys like to say I'm doing. Honest question. Because I do not know for myself. Broke it. If anyone asks for interaction, I'm out of here, except Badlands, because I know someone is listening. I don't understand. If anyone asks me to interact, nobody's going to. What are you talking about? Harmeet requested voter rolls. That's cool. Love Harmeet. Love Harmeet. But why? Why do we love her? Phil Scarborough, investigations take time. The same thing we have been told since 2017. And that is my least favorite excuse. Hammer Guy 35, Harmeet has knitted awesome sweaters post on X. Leave her alone. By the way, it's so silly. Who comes into a chat that says, if anyone asks for interaction, I'm out of here, except if anyone asks me to interact, I'm gone. Just don't come in the chat. Nobody would know you're here. Nobody would care. That's you're kind of being a little attention whore. By the way, is whore a bad word? Clickbait answer from earlier without leaving whatever. I don't get it. Federal judge orders DHS to restore save voter verification features. A federal judge in Florida on Tuesday ordered the Department of Homeland Security to restore key functions of its systematic alien verification for entitlements system after the agency disabled tools used by states to verify citizenship and immigration status for voter registration in response to an earlier court ruling. The order comes after a federal judge in Washington, D.C. found that save features violated the Privacy Act and Social Security Act by improperly combining Americans' personal data. Judge Kent Weatherall ruled that DHS breached a settlement agreement with Florida and other states by removing the bulk upload and Social Security number search features, which the agreement required the system to maintain. In his order, Weatherall said DHS's decision to disable the features in response to the D.C. ruling did not excuse its failure to comply with the settlement. He also concluded the Social Security number search function is consistent with 8 U.S.C. 1373, which governs the sharing of citizenship and immigration status information. They're supposed to file a status compliance report by the 14th. So I'm trying to figure out, I don't remember this story the other way around. This seems like a good thing, though. I'm going to have to look into it. RNC sues Nebraska over overseas voting law ahead of midterms. And this makes total sense. This should be the fact this isn't everywhere blows my mind, but not really. It's not surprising. The Republican National Committee has filed a lawsuit challenging a Nebraska law that allows certain U.S. citizens living abroad who have never lived in the United States to vote based on a parent's Nebraska residency. Like, think about that. The soccer player, Bologna, the guy who got the red card but then got it rescinded by Trump. His parents came to New York to visit family or friends or something, and she was like 7 months pregnant, super pregnant. And then when she was going on the plane home back to like Italy, the flight crew was like, you're too pregnant to fly. And so they didn't let her. And so they were stuck in America. They had the baby in America. And then once the baby was like 2 months old, Bologna, they went back to Italy, and he's never lived a day here since. But he's like on our soccer team and whatever. But like somebody like that, and this is the whole fight over the birthright citizenship and the voting stuff. Like, that is a huge issue with our elections. People like that should not be allowed to vote. They have no skin in the game here. They're not following, and they're not voting anyway. It's just the ballots exist for them, and somebody else is using those ballots to cheat. That's what it comes down to. So yeah, I love this fight. I love this lawsuit. The RNC argues the Nebraska Constitution limits voting to state residents and that residency cannot be inherited. Plaintiffs are asking the court to bar election officials from issuing ballots to voters who qualify under the challenge law. Good stuff. And then the Seth Rich bombshell, hidden documents and secret skiff at headquarters. It's like the 15th time we've had a story along these lines about the burn bags and whatnot. Attorney Ty Clevenger, he's been a dog, by the way. He's been on the Seth Rich stuff since the beginning. He's been killing it. And like, there hasn't been much movement for like public disclosure on this stuff either, yet he's still continuing the fight, which it's just really cool to see. Anyway, Attorney Ty Clevenger, representing interests in the Seth Rich case, revealed that a government attorney informed him that several hundred pages of documents related to Seth Rich have been located in a previously hidden, unmapped, and sealed area within the FBI SCIF at the J. Edgar Hoover building. My first question is, how many of these previously hidden, unmapped, sealed areas are in the FBI? Because if there was just one, we would have had a story about the burn bags one time. Like, yeah, they found a whole bunch of documents in the burn bags. Here's all the stories we found. Like, here's all the documents we found in those burn bags. But it's like every time there's a new burn bag story, it's coming from a new, previously hidden, unmapped, and sealed area at the FBI building. I'm just curious how many of those hidden areas there are. Anyway, this ties directly to a July 30th, 2025 Fox News digital report. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it is those burn bags. I should have read a little further. Fox News digital report about newly installed FBI Director Kash Patel and his team discovering the secret space containing burn bags with thousands of pages of classified files slated for destruction, many linked to the 2016 Crossfire Hurricane investigation. So why have we not gotten the story sooner? The persistent questions surrounding Rich's 2016 murder have long centered on the theory that he was the source behind the DNC email leaks to WikiLeaks, rather than a Russian hack as officially pushed, with his death quickly dismissed as a random botched robbery, despite the circumstances. The repeated FBI contradictions have only intensified suspicions of a broader cover-up involving high-level intelligence and political figures tied to the 2016 election controversies. Back in 2017, the FBI told Clevenger it had zero records on Seth Rich, claiming no involvement in his murder investigation and insisting it was handled solely by local police. Over time, the Bureau has been forced to admit possessing several thousand pages, Seth's work laptop, an image of his personal laptop, and a DVD. As recently as June 15th of 2016, Clevenger filed another motion accusing the FBI of withholding records in violation of court orders. So we'll see. I am skeptical that we'll get anything juicy out of this, because if we're being honest with ourselves, every time we've gotten some sort of story about like, I'm demanding the release of these files, or we're going to get the Epstein files, or we're going to get the alien files, or we're going to get whatever, we've yet to actually get anything meaningful. The only thing we did was with the Durham stuff, like the series of declassifications relating to the Crossfire Hurricane stuff. We did get those. Some of the documents we already knew existed. In terms of documents we didn't know existed, they've been kind of nothing burgers. But anyway, Rep. Burchett, he urged the FBI to release the Seth Rich murder files, sent a letter. A right to request the release of all the Federal Bureau of Investigation records related to the death of Seth Rich. Initially, the FBI informed the public it was not investigating Mr. Rich's death, which was described as a botched robbery. They later acknowledged they had all the stuff. Recent reports suggest the FBI may have found previously undisclosed files related to Seth Rich in burn bags. Given the admin's commitment to transparency, I strongly urge the full release of these records as permitted by law. Doing so would address longstanding questions and demonstrate the administration's continued support for upholding public trust. You know, the one thing I don't think they have is the trust of the public. Question is, who hid the bags? Ray? Who? Maybe. DWV. Well, John Solomon is over there, ain't he? Just finding all kinds of documents. I don't think he's over there. I don't know where his task force is. I don't think they ever said. TRP 6978. They have to decode the locations of those rooms from pictures hanging on the walls of the FBI building, just like the CIA does. Everything being found in those burn bags was being saved for future blackmail. Burp, says misbehaving Irishman. How long have they had these documents? Again, the burn bag story to me is just, that's them disclosing. It's a narrative for them to disclose documents they already had. So, yeah, maybe that's how they found it. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe we will get some actual juicy info. But I'm not going to assume that's the case when we haven't had that one single time. Just saying there. L Cheek 27, why not just burn the documents? That has always been my question, which is why I don't believe that story. RT Joan for $20. John, I missed the beginning of the show, but I hope you and the family enjoy Lemmy's portrait. It's a big thank you for all you do to bring us truths and discussions. Thank you for Badlands. And thank you, Lemmy, the cat, for those who got here late, right over here. And that's, I sent a picture that looked just like that, and she painted it to perfection. It's amazing. It's my new favorite piece of artwork. Wisconsin Judge Dugan only got a $5,000 fine for helping an illegal escape ICE. That's ridiculous. Man, you know, you talk about two-tier justice system, stuff like that, I think is, man, it's more evidence of it for sure. I already covered the Iran stuff. Don't really want to get into it again. Covered that. Oh, yeah. Governor Bashar asked for a health update from Mitch McConnell. That's funny. OpenAI is going to be releasing its most powerful model after weeks-long hold. Every time they do a new release, it's their new most powerful model. So I don't even know why they preface it like that, but whatever. Let me see if there's any other stories that I wanted to get into. Nope. Yeah, I mean, there's more Tyler Robinson stuff, but I hear CanCon's doing like live coverage of it, so I don't need to get into it. And I think that might be all the stories I got for you guys today. Look at that. Oh, could you imagine this situation? Some pilot, a student pilot, was in a plane with his instructor, and his instructor jumped out of it mid-flight. It was just like, see ya. I mean, obviously, suicide. And the kid was like forced to land the plane by himself. I would crap myself. But he did land it, so good stuff. Let me see if we got any Rumble Studio ads. And then get out of here and send you guys on your way. But I will be back tonight for the Power Hour. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, nothing. So how about instead we'll do a quick soft disclosure ad.
One hero, one mission, to deliver softness to America.
No, Gigi, we can't stop for snacks, dude. We have to deliver all of these soft disclosure gift cards.
He goes by Zach Kane.
The motion detector.
Hey, stop fighting over the beer brush.
Life Hit it.
Softdisclosure.com. Go check out the reviews, guys. Do yourself a favor. It takes 30 seconds. Go to the website, read the reviews. You will want to try some of our products. We had a couple more rants come in. Lee Walden, John, be the ball. Make it a golf ball. I'm going to do my best. I'll try to do that thing today. And then Keith O'Higgins says, or I could just keep holding it off and you keep sending rants in about it. I feel like that's a bold strategy too. Keith O'Higgins for $1 says, John, we know Patrick Byrne was an FBI CIA agent. He did admit to that. And he admitted he lied about not being a CIA agent previously. Do you trust CIA agents? No. Do you trust liars? No. But anyway, real question. If our boy Byrne could bury burn bags, how many burn bags would Byrne bury if he could bury burn bags? That's a great question. You don't bury burn bags, so you burn them. That's the real solution. But anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. Hit that thumbs up. We appreciate you. We love you. And I'll see you tonight on the Power Hour, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, me and Burning Bright. And I'll be back again tomorrow right here on the Daily Herald, 1 p.m. Eastern, right here on Badlands Media. You guys have a great rest of your Wednesday.
Let's get started.
That's what she said.
Oh, that's real good.
Why they stopping me?